Good evening, friends, and Happy New Year. We're back. Going to paint for you tonight. This is an 8x10 Centurion panel that I chose to just tone in a orange acrylic. Show you what I'm going to paint. I'm going to try. It's challenging. These are a pair of my daughter's Converse. In high school, she had quite the collection, several different colors, and you know, she doesn't wear them anymore, but she's kept a couple pairs. She kept this green pair, and she has a purple pair too. So I brought them both home. I've done the purple ones before several years ago, and I did the green ones last night, I guess, playing around. So we're going to try those again. I moved them different position. Just a fun subject, I think. Try to get you here where you got a pretty good view. Get everything in. All right. I was going to show you the one from last night if I can get to it. Not sure I can. I'm trapped in here. How I do this stuff. I was going to post the one from last night, and I did not, and I'll tell you why. So there they are from last night. Started out, sketched them on, and I always talk about how important your sketch is because that's your painting. But what happened in the end is I did not like the composition. The shoe on the left, I ran off the canvas, and it felt like a short shoe. So in the end, I didn't like it. And I scraped it off after I turned the camera off, and I repainted it on. So I like it better now. And also I started off with a palette knife with them, and partway through switched to brush, because anything goes, I mean. But so that's why I didn't post it. I didn't love it. You didn't see it. So I could have kept going, goodness, and scraped it off and repainted it. So we're going to try them again. I do think I got them a little, the green a little, maybe a little light. They're a little more olive green, and I think they feel a little more gray green. So we're going to use our EZL to look through to set this up. I'm going to put my arm out pretty straight so I get so the canvas is pretty full of shoes. And let's make some marks. My daughter had her gallbladder removed today, and I've been in touch with them, of course, all day, but I haven't seen her. Of course, they don't want any company right now. I talked to my son-in-law over and over. He took off. Of course, he's with her today. And I said, I'll call her later. And the last note I got from him was, she woke up, took medicine, and went back to sleep. And he said, I'll have her call you tomorrow. So that's his way of telling me don't call tonight, right? So she also got sick from the anesthesia. So she's been really dizzy and nauseous, and she's one of those people that most medications seem to almost be too much for, you know what I mean? So he's off tomorrow too with her, and then if she needs me, I'm going to go over there after that. I think I like this composition. I moved the shoes around. I had them facing us toe to toe, and I wanted to see them. I didn't like that as well. I wanted to be able to see them from the side. So take our time and do our sketch. I did the purple ones years ago. I entered them in a show, and they did get in. I don't even know what happened to those. Do so many paintings over the years. My husband's like, where are they at? I don't know. Did I sell them? I don't know. Are they here? I don't know, maybe, you know. I have so many paintings here. I'm kind of a nut for shoes, aren't I? I just like them. I think I'll thin this down just a tiny bit. Help it move around. Here it's winter now, and obviously, and I got too many things scheduled for winter. I went out to lunch today. Next week I paint on Monday, I hang a show on Monday, I meeting someone for lunch on Tuesday, I have a bone scan on Wednesday, I have an opening on Friday for a friend. It's like this time of year, you know, you don't want to be so busy. I don't know how I got so busy. So I'll be moving things, you know. I just want to get the sketch right before we do anything else. See, this is wrong already. Try to place my brush over there on the object and get that angle. It's fairly steep. Yeah, I met some girls that I went to high school with today. I did it last month for the first time and had another one show up I hadn't seen since high school. Getting to know them again as adults. I don't know that any of them, I don't think I hung out with any of them in school, but I was kind of shy. Not so much now. I find people don't generally stay in, some of them do, but it's rare for people to stay in touch, you know, all their lives from high school on. One of the girls that was there today, she did stay very, very close to one of the girls that sadly passed away a few years ago. They were best friends all their life. See, we got a nice shadow here that runs off, and shoelace. So we should be able to fill the canvas pretty good. Looking at angles again. And I may try them again sometime with a palette knife. I don't know. I think I like some things better with a palette knife than I do others. Just depends on my mood too, I guess, you know. Yeah, I wanted to see the side of that shoe. I like the little eyelet things, and of course we have the I feel like I shortened that up a little bit. Let me bring that down a little bit. Don't want it to look like a baby shoe, even though they aren't very big. She's got tiny feet. These are probably like 5s. Yeah, just spend as much time as you need on this part of it, you know. Might be boring for you, but I kind of enjoy it. I'm going to get my little scraper in here and scrape off some of the dark paint so I'm not fighting it. Like here on the toe, because that's all white. So like I said, we're kind of doing a value sketch too, and this is all pretty dark in that area. Dark over here. Let's get our little scraper. I said we don't want to fight this when it comes time to lay in color, so we'll get rid of some of that. This is a, who is this by? Master's Touch. It's a little flexible rubber. It looks like a paintbrush, doesn't it? Fun little tool. You've probably seen me use it if you watch me, but sometimes I come in here and remove paint at the end and show off my tone. Again, this is kind of almost an army green, so we'll mix up green before we start, and all right, let's see, how do we look? Big shadow here for this. I put the light behind it this time instead of off to the side. A lot of times I'll put it up on a pole. I don't know, I felt like this is what I wanted. The shadows, you know, are always part of it too. And I haven't decided on the background, but I'm feeling like I may want to go kind of light. All right, I think we got enough info there to think about doing some color. Color is the part I love the most. Maybe I'll bring you over to mix here. Don't look at my dirty palette. All right, here, I'm gonna bring you over. Tilt you down. I could lower you way down. Do you want to be way down? Bring you down. All right, I'm going to straighten you up. All right, very good view of my dirty palette. All right, so we're going to make like a army green, and we're going to make, I'd like to do like 3 values. So, and we'll do a good amount of it. Ultramarine. I mean, first you just make a green, yellow and blue. All right. I don't have it out here, but I feel like I may want some cobalt. While you're looking at this, I'll tell you what's on here. I tend to work with limited palette mostly. A warm and cool of each primary. So ultramarine, cobalt, cad yellow medium, lemon, cad red light, and crimson. But I do, of course, white. I do like transparent red oxide. And there's some old Indian yellow over here. Those are colors that I usually add. That's mostly it. There's some old black over here that I use sometimes for pet portraits. All right, so I want some, let's pull some aside. I want some to be pretty dark. So we'll put more blue in it. And we'll go ahead and put a little crimson in it. You know, for the darkest areas of the shoe. Maybe a little more blue. Let's get it pretty dark. So that's our darkest green. There's not as much of a light area on there, but in our lighter areas, we'll go a little more yellow and a little white. I'm looking over there to see how that looks. It's not bad, I don't think. Okay. This was the first pile of green that we mixed up. So let's kill that with a little crimson. Go to the red, you know. Now we'll put some white in it, which is definitely cooling it off. Let's look at that. Definitely graded down. Put some more blue and some more yellow. Get some more green back in there. I think that's feeling better. I can tell you now the light part's going to need to be a little lighter. So if you mix up 3 values, I'm always saying this, you know, you can intermix those, but it's a good place to start. I like doing that. Let's move you around. Get you back up here. Come back. And back up. So get your paints out. It's a new year. Let's start, you know, get busy, do something for the new year. Like I said, I did that one last night already. I saw a poster today that said something about, if you knew how little I had ordered from Amazon this year, you'd be really proud of me. You get it this year. We've had 2 days. I think it's a good idea with the new year to set some goals for yourself, for your art. What do you want? What do you want to change? What do you want to improve? You know, how often do you want to paint? You know, set some goals for yourself. All right, let's get to painting. I think I'm going to start out with a brush that's probably going to be too big for a lot of the area, but I'd rather start off bigger. We'll start off with the darkest green that we mixed up there. I'm going to thin it down a little bit. Now I'm going to look over there for my darkest areas. Actually, this whole tongue is fairly dark underneath there. You actually, to make it easier on yourself, you know, could put the laces in once you got the shoes blocked in, really. I didn't do that, but you could do that. Yeah, there's a real light area here, and this side is light. So there isn't a lot of dark. Let's go to the... Now, let's look at that. See, I think that's too saturated. That's the mid-tone that we mixed. I think it's too saturated. So I'm going to put a little red in it. Try to kill it. You know, there's no rules here. You could put a little black in it to kill the intensity. I mean, some people do that. Let's try a little. It's some on here. I'm going to rub some of that in there even. You know, it will gray it down. Lots of fun detail in these shoes. Yeah, I can tell you right now I'm getting a lot darker than I was last night, which the shoes are darker. Like I say, I ended up with them a bit lighter than they are in reality. I'm changing it up a little bit. This area again back here is pretty light, so we'll checking that angle. Put it on the purple. I chose the green. I like both. I think greens are more challenging to paint. That's the light green I mixed up for back there. Trying to kill it a little bit too. I feel like I'm getting too saturated with these colors. And you know, it's your world. If you want it different, you just do it different. I mean, maybe it's more interesting to make it more saturated. Kind of runs up there. This is where my light is, back here in this corner. I have a really good son-in-law. He adores my daughter. You know, feel real blessed that way. You're a good husband. I'm going to go back into this and gray it a little more, even though for some reason it feels more yellowy over there. You know, and at the end, in the end, something doesn't feel right, we can scrape it off with the oils and go over it again. I've mixed up some orange right now. I'm just going to try to warm this up a little bit. We'll see. In the end, if we like that or not. It's just push and pull, isn't it? You know. Even though we're not doing palette knife, I do want it to be painterly, so. The whites are not bright white, but let's put out some white, and then we'll gray it a little bit. I'm still trying this bigger brush for now. We've had the last 2 weeks off of painting because I paint on Mondays and, you know, Christmas Eve and, oh, it's Christmas Day and then New Year's Day, so had a little break. So next Monday we go back. I'm kind of hoping maybe I'll get the opportunity to do some car painting this winter. You know, when there's some snow on the ground. We'll see. Maybe if I do it, I'll take you with me. I'm sure the challenge will be getting what I want where, you know, in front of me so I can see it, you know. That'd be part of the challenge. Ugh, I don't even know how I got into that green. Darker back into there. And this is darker as it rounds away from the light. I'll mix a little purple up. I like purple. Ooh, that is very dark purple. We can always lighten it up. I'm going to switch to a brush that's a little smaller here for some of this. trying to stand in the same spot over and over so my view is the same. If you never painted from life, that is the tricky part of it. These are the tags. Put a little warmth there because I felt like it might bounce back up, even though we don't have that in, but let me see the shape of this a little careful. That's up a little too high. We'll make that adjustment when we paint the background in. What is it about paint? I just love pushing paint around. I want that to, even though it's dark, I want that to feel more green inside there. The darkest dark I make with this palette is ultramarine blue and transparent red oxide. It's almost black. All right, across his toe is a very dark. Do you make New Year's resolutions? Are you a person that does that? I don't usually do that. I have in the past, but I saw another funny thing for a Dairy Queen. It said, helping you break your New Year's resolution since 1962, something like that. So I guess they've been around since 1962. I don't have any idea. I know I go to the community center unless it's nice weather, and then I walk out, but I know it gets busier after the first of the year, right? People in there trying to lose weight, and the darkest shadows right up at the toe, and then it gets lighter as it goes out, understandably, right? Are they looking like shoes? They do look small, don't they? They are small. Like I said, she has small feet, so. I've done a lot of baby shoes. They're just precious. feeling like that should be back a little further, but I don't know for sure. The tongue is here. This needs to go back then. We might get our palette knife out for some of this stuff too. The vent things are only on the inside, they're not on the outside. When I paint the background, then I'll have to think about, like, this shape slightly tapers in and out, and that's important. All right, around these little eyelets, we're going to mix some blue, some cobalt and white. And then let's take our palette knife. And we'll look for the places where they're really catching some bright light. Yeah, it depends on how detailed you want to get. You know, there's stitching up in here. Of course, I'm not putting it on like you would stitching, you know, it's dot, 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 dot. But I do want to suggest it. Oops. think I've told you I have a DVD of Michelle Burns, and she's known now to be mostly a palette knife painter. And she actually will kind of base in her whole painting with a brush. In the DVD she does. It wasn't what I expected. I mean, she spent a long time putting in her painting with a brush, which is fine. And then she went back over it with a palette knife. My point is, I guess I could do that with this now if I wanted, huh? I'm going to mix up something a little warmer and light. There's some of these areas that I see that are really catching light. I always say what counts in the end is the finished painting, right? No matter how you got there. Coming and warming up some of these areas, because that's how they look to me. I think what we'll do is we'll paint the background in, and you know, then we'll do the shoelaces and stuff, because they go out onto the background. Putting in some of those darks that maybe I missed. Just backing up a little bit to see if proportions feel right. I think that could be back just a little farther. All right, let's get some paint on the background. I actually feel like I want to keep it light, but maybe a little bit gray. So we'll take out a big puddle of white because I want to keep it light. And then I think we'll take all three primaries. All right, let's take the biggest of those brushes we were using. Thin it just a little bit. All right, now I'm going to look at the shapes of these shoes as I paint the background in. Sorry about that shaking around. Don't know how to stop that. Let's see, there's a shadow here, and it's a little darker in between, but maybe we'll do this now that I got that brush dirty. Shadow almost looks like it goes over into there. All right, let's look carefully at the shape of this. There's a lot to do yet. We got to get laces, and on these little tags here it says All Star with a little star. I mean, I don't know how well we'll explain that, but don't want to get too hard edged over there. Let me get back a little bit. You know, and maybe we don't want to, let's put a little more color in this. You know, maybe we don't want to keep it the same color as we move around. I went a little darker there. Okay, let's see what we got here. Kind of comes up. We may have to do a little work on the back of that. I feel like that needs a little work. Give it a little attention. Yeah, this kind of slightly curves in and out. Yeah, I'm going to have to work on that too. That's a little, goes back, curves in. Yeah, we got to make that thicker. As you can see, I just cut way into it. That's okay. I planned it that way. I always joke, if it turns out I meant to do that, if it doesn't turn out, I would just practice that. All right, let me stand still so I can really see what I'm looking at there. I got to get lighter or it's not going to show up. There's kind of a go through a lot of paper towels. Almost looks like a tire tread on the toe here. There's a pattern in there, which I wouldn't begin to attempt to paint. All right. I think we'll get our, we could do it with a palette knife, but I think we'll get our little brush out and look at this lettering, which maybe it'll work, maybe it won't. It's hard to get in here over the camera and do this. It ain't like I want it to be perfect anyway, you know. I just want to suggest it. It's so wet, you know, that it's not ideal. If it really, really mattered, I could come back and do it again. We'll see. You know, I like to be alla prima if it's possible. All right, shoelaces. I think I'll try it with this little brush and see. They're pretty light. Some areas are lighter than others. So, and then there's probably going to be some shadows. See, this gets darker. In the middle. Trying to make sure that I get them like they are. See what they're doing there, huh? This one's underneath. That one goes up there. That one goes there. See, can you see the other one? Yeah, you sure can. Coming down on the edge of the shoe and crossing that one. The other one, yeah, I can see part of it too. It would be coming out of this top hole on the other side, way up here. And it's kind of hanging over here. some areas, you know, are catching more light, like right here, where it comes out. I've been going an hour so far. There's a lot going on in this one though. Laces have that skinny thing on the end, you know. It's kind of suggesting that. That is some saturated purple there. I don't know if I'll like that or not. I like having some unexpected touches of purple here and there though. Trying to back away a little bit and see where I look like I'm off, you know, if there's any place that doesn't feel right. I don't know if I have those laces exactly right, but just checking it's about where it is. Feels a little short to me, but Like I said, they aren't very big shoes because they aren't very big feet. You know, we could suggest that crazy texture, or I don't think there's any reason to. I think it's just some maybe up and down strokes. I'll tell you something that maybe does feel off. Let me see. I feel almost like that area there should be lower. Maybe that sole should be higher because it just feels a little thick through there, I think. Again, they're not very big shoes, so might be fun to do a pair of men's, huh? Somebody with some big old feet. I've done my husband's boots. I've done several pairs of my husband's boots over the years. There's a video on here, matter of fact, where I do a pair of his boots, brown boots. It's really one of my favorite paintings. I have to own that painting. Yeah. I put it in a couple shows. I don't know why it hasn't sold. I should just keep it, right? I like it. I'll show it to you at the end. In my bathroom, I've got like 3 paintings of shoes hanging up, all baby shoes. I like baby shoes too. I told you I've had people ask me, what is with you and shoes? Like I said, I feel like shoes have a real connection to people. I don't know if you ever saw it, but I've seen pictures, of course, I've never been there, of the Holocaust Museum, and they have shoes from these people. Thousands of pairs of shoes. That really touched me. I just thought, I don't know, just the kind of the piece of the person, I think, if that makes sense. Like I said, I guess I could go back now with a palette knife and repaint the whole things, and if I wanted. I don't think I want. Yeah, see there, this is a kind of up on the toe, and then there's a band of color. White, like a flat area, and then it goes into this part, if that makes sense. I don't want that so hard edged. You can see my orange tone through there, peeking through here and there. I think this needs shadowed so it feels like it's laying down. That's where it hits the table. Actually, the shadow comes out beyond. I know I keep adjusting. I just keep feeling like this is a little thick through here, a little a little high. Maybe it is, right? Because if that comes down there, goes to about there. Yep, don't get that little brush in there. Right. I've got this paint here, so let's put it on here. More is better. That's one thing I do like with the palette knife, all that paint that you see. All right, I'll get you in front of it. Of course, there's a lot of glare. Let me turn the light off back here. If that makes any difference or not. Where'd our mat go? Oh, right here. Been moving things around. That's going to fall behind there, I can tell you now. I'm about to move you out or you can't even see that, can you? All right, back away. Okay, now let's try this again. I put tape on that corner. That's lovely, isn't it? It just gives you an idea. We have to look at it. There may be some things yet that I feel it needs. I feel I need a little bit of a dark line here to ground that sole. Not bad though. I mean, like I said, these shoes are challenging. Take two, right? Did them last night, did them tonight. So I'll show you those boots I was talking about too. See them up there? I painted those on a video. If you look back, you'll find them. I like those boots. So, but for some reason I still own them. All right, yeah, there's lots of shoe paintings. I was wondering where that big shoe painting is that I've got still. Is it up here on the wall? Yeah, I painted this on here too, the videos. I think it was like 3 parts, all these high heels. All right, folks, I'm gonna sign off. Happy New Year. Get your paints out and get your first one in for the first of the year, right? Off to a good start that way. All right, like I said, I'm probably gonna do a little tweaking on this. I'm seeing some things already. I think that might be too high. Gosh, when are they perfect, right? Never, never. All right, please like and subscribe if you haven't done that yet, and let's keep the channel growing for the new year, and watch for me next time. Thanks again. Good night.